you have a great reputation. You've been chosen. You are the business angel of the year of 2000. When was it?
13.
13.
Yeah.
And you are famous that you did like what was it, like 3 exits in 1 week?
That's correct. But that was pure luck, though.
Sorry?
That was pure luck that they happened in a week, though.
Of course, but it's a good story.
Yeah.
So and your reputation is that you have a hands-on. You are really well connected. You are really pragmatic. So how you do it really professionally? And how have you always been like that? Have you always worked like that, or have you like developed yourself that now I start to work like this?
Yeah, well, actually, that was my thesis when I started to invest.
Yeah.
That I wanted to bring other value than money. And basically what I've tried to do to make it scalable, I tried to clone myself. So in the beginning I did it only myself, and now I basically have 40 partners doing the same thing for me. And obviously since I've been doing the same thing for 10 years, there are a lot of existing relationships, which are about 600 with these banks, insurance, and telcos with bank licenses I mentioned before.
Yep.
So actually now it becomes very, very scalable. So maybe 10 years ago when I started this, maybe I would be helpful and sign 2 commercial deals, maybe help refinance the company partly. Now we've industrialized that, so with the latest company that we are really proud of, which is called Dusan, which is like a middleware between the distributed ledgers and the financial service industry and the core banking system. We basically invested 8 weeks ago, and we took them to KL, to Hong Kong, to Singapore, to Beijing, to San Francisco, to Stockholm, now to New York, and we had 55 qualified commercial meetings with them in 8 weeks and closed 6 deals. That's a high record from us. We've never had that kind of traction in terms of what we can bring to the table to the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So it is definitely developed over the years.
Yeah.
And it's also become much more international. As you can hear, in the beginning I only did Paris and Stockholm. Now it's these 9 cities, Beijing, Hong Kong, Singapore, the Bay Area, New York, Paris, Berlin, Stockholm, London, hopefully soon Helsinki as well. So if you really want to have a competitive advantage as an early stage investor, you've got to figure out what is the difference between what everybody else does in terms of investing money, which everybody does, and what is your core skill. And basically what we have identified are 5 areas. So we spend 80% of our resources to actually get more customers,
Yep.
B2B customers for our companies. But we also do help with recruitment, PR, the next round, where we put in about 20% of our time to actually introduce other investors, and then actually the M&A process. But we go all the way to the M&A process, which is very, very uncommon for early stage investors.
Because you are so hands-on, so I'm sure that you are the right guy that I can ask that. Where do you see that this? Because fintech, obviously, this is the year of fintech. This 2016, it's going to be, and the development has gone like this. So where do you think it's going to go? What is the future of the whole trend?
Yeah.
Because it's not obviously, it's not just trend.
In any kind of disruption, I think a lot of money will be lost, because I think, especially when we talk about blockchain and distributed ledgers and that whole area, a lot of money will be lost, because it's a profound innovation. It's like when the iPhone came and actually basically changed the life for Nokia, Ericsson, and BlackBerry.
Yeah.
That's what we have with the distributed ledgers. It profoundly changes life for a lot of companies. And I think, given that it's really more of a revolution than evolution in terms of how it works, a lot of money will be lost, a lot of money will be gained. So there will be failures,
sure.
but I do believe that they will have a profound impact. And the only reason why I think it's different from '99 is actually that the banks, the insurance, the telcos are ready for it. They want it.
Yeah.
So it's not our tech smart thinking of being very creative.
Yeah.
There is really customer need. So I do believe that, from a customer point of view, it's going to be all uphill. Is it going to be competitive? Yes. Are there a lot of other? Is there going to be a lot of other companies financed? Yes. Is there going to be overfinanced? Yes. Are valuations are going to be too high? Yes.
Yeah.
So we will, unfortunately, I think, have all these syndromes from '99. But what is fundamentally different is that there is a real customer need. All banks will not survive. We've seen it in the media space. I'm from Gothenburg in Sweden. We had Stampen just claiming bankruptcy a week ago, where Schibsted, which is originally from Norway, as you know, is stronger than ever out of the media crisis.
Yeah.
So some will go strengthened out of that, some will disappear. I would tend to say that those that have almost invested, like Schibsted used to do, in areas which is partly competing with the core business and thinking completely out of the box will be the survivors.
How has been the event?
So far, very, very good. I came in straight from Hong Kong, 6 o'clock yesterday in the morning.
Yep.
I think it's, you know, when you come from Asia and come to, I guess, North Europe and specifically to Helsinki, you're just amazed how well organized things are. So you kind of know who you will meet almost a week ahead. So you basically know that every single second that you're going to be here is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I also like the size of you know, the event. It's just perfect to actually be able to meet one person twice,
yeah,
as opposed to just shake hands very quickly and becomes very superficial. So I think the event is awesome, and I'm amazed by, you know, how global it has become as well. I prefer this kind of size of the events, the interaction, that, you know, you even know the organizers well. Some of these people I know from before, some I don't. Beautiful 2 days. Helsinki is a great city. Very, very good quality of startups that we saw yesterday. Now we're seeing some in the background right now.
Yep.
So very, very good, well, creation of the startups. And I think one thing that is amazing here compared to any other event is actually the proportion of entrepreneurs versus investors. So the people who are here in terms of entrepreneurs, they are really good companies, but also I think there are about 300 investors here.
Yeah.
So that means that the ratio between entrepreneurs and investors is kind of fair to the entrepreneurs, so they get enough feedback.
That's it.
And that's good for me, because in other events, you know, people would run over me and I can't even walk around without people kind of bugging you with different ideas.
You want to put the investor patch inside.
Exactly. You don't want to show it anymore.
No.
And given that I only do B2B fintech, you know, I only look into that and nothing else. And here it was all very well curated. I met a couple of banks like Barclays and Nordea, which was awesome. I met SEB, but I also met quite a few interesting companies within fintech.
Good.
So it's all in. So the main objective for me to actually make an event attractive is that I can find potential customers for my portfolio companies.
Yeah.
And then it's the other part of the equation, which is actually finding new companies.
Yeah.
So that one is very hard to, actually that one I spend a lot of time on and saying no to a lot of stuff beforehand, just to make sure that it is within B2B fintechs. It's so narrow, right? So the events that I kind of like are events like this that have like a very specific fintech trend.
Yeah.
Because then I know that there would be entrepreneurs also linked to that.
Yeah.
So what you see also from a, you know, a lot of these events point of view, you see events like Next Bank, Finnovatia, Moneycall, Money 2020. You see more and more events that are specific in an industry, and obviously that is good value for the buck to be there. And I'm seeing that as a trend actually in general, that these are coming. And actually even within fintech you have specific only blockchain events, specific only P2P lending events.
Yeah, it's changing a lot.
Yeah, you see specific insurance tech events.
Yeah.
So even within fintech you see specializations. And I think we are actually looking into that more and more, and I think we will see these specializations because tech is just too broad.